Go. It says go, and that was my clock just bonging the 2 o'clock thing. So it is 2 o'clock, and I am live for my usual live on a Tuesday. I'm just going to make sure everything seems to be working. It does, which is great. So welcome everybody to another Craft with Carol live. On a Tuesday, always here at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, and I will be next week. However, the week after, I won't be, because I'm going to be in Strasbourg at the Stampin' Up conference with a whole load of other demos from the UK and across Europe, and indeed from everywhere else in the world. I believe we've got a couple coming from Australia and some from Canada, possibly the US. It's going to be great. It's always good at these events, and I love going. So yeah, that's 2 weeks time. So I'm here this week and I'm here next week, but then there won't be one on Tuesday the 18th. However, today I'm looking at this card but not actually showing you. Let me just swap my view so that I can see what's going on my craft desk. There we go. It's not very straight, is it? But not too bad. There we go. So this is what I'm making today. I bought the set I'm going to show you in a second. It's called, I'll show you now, for heaven's sake. It's called For the Books, and it's a bundle, and it has these lovely books, a little sticker which you could use in your own books in the library of. This one's for the books. You're a solid 5 stars for you, heart, story of us, and some little glasses, which I thought were really sweet. And it is a bundle. It comes with dies, not very many dies, but there is this book die. There is sort of a pages, that sort of cuts sort of strips of pages that you can slide in there if you wanted to. That one I haven't used. I don't know quite what that's for. I must have a look around and see what other people have done with that one. A little sort of bookmarky tag, which I am using today, and a hole. So you can put a hole in something quite nicely with that. So some nice little dies. But I bought this. I am a bookworm. I adore books. Anybody else out there who loves books, please do introduce yourselves and say who's there, because I always like to know who's watching. I adore books. I read ridiculous numbers of books, if we're really honest. I have a Kindle that has over 4,000 books on it. I know, well, not on the Kindle because they don't fit on the Kindle, but in my Kindle account, I have that many books. Because Amazon do this thing where they every day there are book deals, books at 99p and £1 and things, and I can't resist them. Plus, I'm in Kindle Unlimited, so there's a lot of books there as well. And I have a library full here. I adore books, and I'm in a few reading groups. Yeah, not just one. I'm in actually 4 reading groups. Did I say I love books? Anyway, I saw this stamp set and couldn't resist it because, quite frankly, it's for every bookworm that is there. And I bought it because I immediately had an idea about making a bookmark card. So this is a card. It's just a normal card in that sense, but hidden inside this flap is a bookmark. So there we have a bookmark for the recipient to be able to use. I wanted to use these colours. I used copper clay as the background, mainly because copper clay is going to be one of the in colours that we're losing at the in April or May. And I didn't really want to lose that, so I thought I'd better start using some, but I'm not sure about the colours. I'm using Fresh Freesia for the card we're going to make today in this live. So it's easy enough to make, and it's all sort of one piece. Decorated the envelope as well. Just put that one to one side for a minute, somewhere where it won't get in the way. The paper I'm using today, it's this set. It's called the Everyday Skies 6x6 designer series paper, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's again, it's double-sided like all of our designer series paper. So if I go through from the back, you'll be able to see the 2 sides. So this is like a night sky with some galaxies in it, and then some stars. I'm actually using that paper today. Then there is this one, which is like storm clouds with the beautiful purples and blues and a sort of stripy blue background there. This one, which is some more stormy clouds, but a lighter sky with that one, and some sort of oranges and red colours coming in with that beautiful, my favourite colour, purple background. Some much nicer daytime skies with a lovely pink with a little tiny bird pattern on it. I don't know if you can see the bird pattern if I hold it up. Then we have this one, some, again, little birds on blue sky pattern. This one, which is I'm using this paper as well, and a lovely blue star pattern. This one with a sort of splotched type pattern in the blue there. This one, pinks, some pink birds again, and this one, which is a somewhat orangey sky with that. That's the one I used on this card I made here. Those are the colours I used on that one. And this one, again, some stars and some lovely multicoloured sort of splodgy, cloudy type background. This one, which I think is probably my favourite mix of colours with the peach, which again I used in that card. And those are the various bits of the same ones that I've used and I'm running out of quickly. But there we go. That is that beautiful Everyday Skies. So we need quite a lot of bits for this card, and I'll talk about them as we're going through. Those are bits for a bookmark. Those are bits for a front panel. I've already done my die cutting of my, this is what the book looks like when it's cut, and the little tag to go with it. So it's got beautiful detail on it, and it is sort of cut. There are slits top and bottom, and in these, so you can decorate it quite well with putting ribbon and twine through. We're going to be doing a little bit of that to decorate it. Put those there so I don't lose it. So I've already done the envelope for this card because, quite frankly, it just takes quite a long time to do all the to do the colouring, so I didn't want to leave it all for today. Then there's some bits for the back of the card, the inside of the card rather. So I've done the layer this time. Normally I would do it in a coordinated cardstock. This time I'm doing it in one of the papers. So this is from the Everyday Skies papers. So I've used that as the sort of back, and that will go inside. We're going to stamp that in a minute. So the bits for the main part of the card, you need you need to use a whole sheet of A4 for this card. So this bit is the normal height of the card for 14.8 centimeters or 5.5 inches, but this time it's cut along there at 27 centimeters and 11 inches if you're doing it in I can't remember the inches, sorry, and I haven't written them down on my link there, have I? So it'll be approximately 11, probably 13 or 14 inches. Anyway, the inch measurements are going to be in my blog. I have already put them in the blog. Emma Lou, hello. Oh, thank you. I know, my favourite Fresh Freesia. I can't stop using purples. The card, I'll just show you the card I've actually made. This is what we're going to do today. It's a bookmark card. And I was using copper clay and peach because I thought I need to use different colours, but I don't know, it's just not so much my favourite. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm sorry about the inches. I can't give you the inch measurements now live, but they are going to be in my blog, which will be published very, very soon after this video, after this session finishes. So anyway, 14.8 by 27, that's in centimetres. I'm going to give you all of the measurements in centimetres because it's a lot easier. I can give you some of the panel bits in just in normal centimetres. So I'm using, as I said, 2 sheets of the DSP as the panel and the background, just to be different. So this is the normal layer 1, which is 10 centimetres by 14.3, or in inches, and I do have those somewhere. Let me just get my little crib thing up so I can, oh, it's fallen over again, never mind. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then the second layer is the normal second layer panel, which is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8, or 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then we've also got a separate panel, which I'm going to pop across the front here. And this is simply the reverse of this DSP. So I've used just 1 sheet of DSP and just been able to get both of those pieces out of it. And this piece for going across is 5 centimetres by 10 centimetres. Okay, so let's get on with making the card because there's quite a lot to do. There's quite a lot of stamping and colouring, but hey, we'll manage. So the first thing is going to be scoring this. So we're going to make the first score at 10.5 centimetres, and that's the usual place to do the first score for a normal card. So 10.5, then we're going to open up the arm, if you can see it all right, and we're going to score at the normal width of a card when we're making a portrait card this way, which is 21 centimetres. The inch measurements, as I say, will be in the blog later on. So those are the folds for the card. And we're going to fold this first main fold. We're going to fold in like a normal card. Well, I should do it this way. so that it folds in like a normal card, like that. I'm going to give it a really good burnish. And then this front flap is going to fold outwards. So this one folds the opposite way around. So just want to make sure it is even top and bottom, and then burnish that fold. Now, before we finish with the base, we're actually going to measure down. Just get this here in the way, not out of the way. So I'm going to measure down. I've got this huge ruler. I don't know why I need a smaller ruler for this desk. Right. So we're going to measure down, and not even in inches. We're going to measure in centimetres. And I'm going to measure down on this on the outside edge of the short panel. So the outside edge of the short panel, I'm going to measure down 2.5 centimetres and just put a little pencil mark there. Okay, which we can rub out if we can still see it at the end. That's why it's always good to use pencil. And then I'm going to put it into the channel. So that mark is going to go into the channel and the fold, where the fold is here. So you've got the mark here and the fold here to go into the cutting channel. And then we're going to chop off that triangle. Okay. So that is the card. Oops. Okay, got everything piled up here. So that is the base of the card. That's what it looks like. So we're going to start putting it together. And I'm going to suggest that you actually stick these layers on so you don't get lost as to where you are and what you're doing with all the layers. So we're going to stick the, oh, that's quite nice on the back as well. Yeah. They're such nice papers. They really are. But I'm going to use this side. Oh, I've got glue on the desk again. Don't know how I managed that so much. Right. So pop this in. I have actually drunk my coffee today, which makes a change, mainly because we had to have lunch early because my daughter was being taken. My husband's had to take my daughter to the airport, so we had lunch early. So I had loads of time to drink my coffee today, which was nice. However, I must show you this. It was my birthday the weekend, and I've got this present. Can you see it? And this is a coffee mug warmer. So I can put my coffee on there, turn it on. It's just got, oops, there we are. Turn it on by mistake because I don't need it on today. It's just a touch on and off. So I'll turn it off again. And this will warm and keep my coffee warm. So never again am I going to have cold coffee when I'm sitting at my craft desk. So I'm delighted with that present. Thank you very much to Catherine who bought it for me. Anyway, carrying on with the card. I got distracted then. So I'm going to pop this bit on as well, which is the other bit for the front here. No, and now my tip. Have I got another one easily accessible? Yes, I do, thank goodness. Just pop that over there and it can just get the last of it folding down, but I need a new one. I can't be bothered doing a lot of nonsense today, so let's get a new one out. There we go. So this is my next layer, which I'm going to have this way up. Just here, those are my layers at the front. Now we've got the other big layer for inside. I'm not going to stick my basic white panel on because we've got some stamping to do on that first, but I am going to stick this layer inside the card. So those are getting my layers in place for there. Now we've got to also put some layers on the front of this, but I've got a diagonal top. So I'm going to show you the easy and simple way to get the measurement correct for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is place this on and work out what sort of is the gap all the way around, which is basically about 1/4 centimetre. It's a little bit more because this piece was an extra bit for me and I just cut down, so I know it's a little bit small, but you'll have basically 1/4 centimetre either side. So you want to bring the bottom of your DSP 1/2 centimetre up from the base, double the width of the layers you're going to see either side. Then hold it carefully in place, and I've used, probably I ought to use I've used a very dark paper, which is really stupid, but then I want to draw a line across. Okay, I don't know if you can see the line. I can, because it is in pencil, so I can see it just enough. There. Oh, thank you, Emma Lou. Yes, I had a lovely birthday. We went out for a fabulous meal. It was just great, and I got all sorts of lovely presents as well. So Then I can use the line, pop it in my channel on my trimmer, cut it off, and then when we bring this back, you can see that it's exactly right for the front flap. So I'm going to pop that on. It just saves measuring with rulers and things if you can use the actual piece you've got to put it on. It's so much easier. So that is that piece. And then the piece on top of that, again, we're going to have this all the way round. So again, I'm going to, the edge is going to be the same all the way around. So I'm going to bring it up so it's double the side edge. But I also need to add in that little bit for the top, which is about another that much. So again, I can hold it against the piece, turn it over. This time it's much easier to see. Use the edge of the flap to mark it. And then I'm just going to check. That's going to be about right. Looking across here. Yes, it is. I must have cut that one longer than I thought. So chop that bit off. And that will then fit in here. Yep. Again, with the same sort of border all the way around, which is nice. I'm just going to cut that a little bit narrower too, because I don't know, it's just not quite right. So I'm going to just take literally a sliver off by using the edge of this blade. If you can see if you look at your trimmer blade, you've got the center piece where the blades run, and then you've got a sort of black bit either side. And using the edge of that on the right hand side, just to trim off little slivers, really works well. They are one. My trimmer's full. I think just clean that as well. I just wanted that because my piece there was slightly smaller. I've cut that down again as well. Yeah, happy with that. So we'll stick this on too. So that's my simple method for measuring where to cut on your DSP without bothering with rulers and things like that. It makes it easy. There we go. So there are my pieces for the front. So that's all my bits for the card. The other piece I've got is this piece that I cut, the reverse of this DSP, which I'm going to place across there. I cut it as wide as the second layer, and I'm going to stick that across the centre. So, yeah, it's interesting how many people have birthdays around the same time as me. I have several friends that have birthdays within a day or two. My German friend that I speak to every week, his birthday was Monday. And one of my previous doggy friends, his birthday was Saturday. So, and my sister-in-law's is next Tuesday. So it's amazing how much. No, it isn't. When is it? It's next Monday. Yeah, next Monday, the 8th. So there we go. So that is all the bits stuck together. We're now going to make all the decoration for it, and we're going to make the bookmark. I'm going to do the stamping next, because then I'll show you how to make the bookmark after that. So I'll very quickly do the stamping. I may not bother with doing all the colouring just now because it's a bit crazy. So this piece is going to be in the centre of the bookmark, and this is the piece for the inside of the card. So I'm going to use this sentiment. This one's for the books inside. Actually, I could use, why not use, no, I won't. I will use black actually, because I've got blue on the front. I'm just thinking I could use a coloured ink for this, but no, for speed, I'm going to use just Memento. So, but you could do it in colour. I did do the other one in coloured ink. That's fine. And then I'm going to use my pile of books stamp in the corner just to give a little bit of decoration inside the card, which I will then colour in. And then my bookmark, I've got all these different stamps. I've got a couple that can be used upright or laid down. I've got the pile, and I've got a little for you. And there is, and I don't think I've got it out, it must still be in here. There is this lovely heart as well, so I'll probably use that too. Yeah, it's still in here. So I'll just put it on there for a minute. Don't lose it. Tiny stamps, easy to lose. Pop that over there. So I'm going to just stamp some books on here. So we'll have a pile of books on the bottom. And I just want to show you how versatile these stamps are, because you've got the pile of books, which is one stamp of 4. But say I wanted the pile to be bigger, I can use these other ones to just add on top. We'll put two on top, I think. So we'll have 2 on top of there, like that. And because they're see-through, you can put them in exactly the right position, so they sit on like that. So that gives me a pile of books on the bottom. And then at the top, I'm going to have my upright books up here. So we'll have those there. And again, I want to fill in that shelf there. So I can either have them at an angle, or I can probably have them at a slight angle, I think, just to be different. So again, I can look through. Sorry if my head's getting in the way a bit, just to see where the books are, so I can make sure they're touching where I need them to touch. See-through stamps are so useful like that. And then I'm going to stamp the For You in the middle. Which I quite like. The font of that is like a typewriter, which I thought was really rather good. And then I haven't got the right ink. Let me just get... Ooh. Let's grab a red. I've grabbed Poppy Parade. Doesn't really match the... No, I don't know. I don't want to use Poppy Parade. I'm using Fresh Freesia, for heaven's sake. Let's just use Fresh Freesia. No reason why we can't have a heart in Fresh Freesia, is there? So I'm just going to pop my heart on there. There we go. So that keeps my... there we go. All spring babies. Yes, absolutely. You sort of wonder how much fun people must have in their summer holidays. Anyway, there we go. Right. So that's all my stamping. Oh, the only other bit of stamping I need to do is I've got my... I'll stick the For You on there somewhere for now. I've got this You're a Solid 5 Stars, which I rather liked, which I'm going to pop on the front here. But I think... I was going to do it just in white, but I don't know, that to me just sort of is a bit too much there. I've done it now, but anyway. I'm just wondering, I might just stamp it on some Fresh Freesia, but I'll need to go and get a piece of Fresh Freesia. Bear with me. I know the stars aren't going to show up too well on here, but I've got an idea for those as well. So I think I'm going to just try ink on here and just see what that looks like. Or I could use a darker, might use Highland Heather actually, just to get that darker colour on my Fresh Freesia. I'm making this up as I go along, can you tell? Oh dear. So You Are a Solid 5 Stars. That's better. Yeah, it would have been too light in the Fresh Freesia. Again, we don't have to have gold stars. Oops, do we? We could have... Yeah, we could have those, I suppose. Yeah, let's see. Anyway, stop faffing about with the stamps. Somewhere I do have this little punch, but it's going to be too big, isn't it? Anyway, I might mess around with that later and see if I can make some stars. Or I could, of course, stamp them and cut them out, but that would take forever for now, so we won't bother with that for now. Let me just stamp it in Fresh Freesia on here, and we can decide, because I'm not sure, looking at that now. Let's stamp it both, and then we can decide. So we'll have a Fresh Freesia on here. There we go. Then we can decide which to use. So have a think. Kathy Zielski, you're a trained professional. Yeah, right. There's not much professional about what I do with this, I don't think, sometimes. But anyway, right. So we'll have to decide about those. Which do you think? We can either, let me just trim them so we can get some idea of how they would look. So it needs trimming down top and bottom as well. Do you know, I wasn't concentrating the other day when I was trimming something on here, and I managed to trim right through the words I just stamped. I had to do it all again. Sad. Right, so that's that one. I'll just trim that. Size-wise, that's not too bad. So there we go. So now, which do you think? We've either got this one, that would be how it was in white, or we have a Fresh Freesia one. I don't know now. What do you think, folks? Let's see what you think. I'm going to leave them both on there, and you can have a look at them and decide which you think might be best. Right, while I just very quickly colour some books. I'll probably... I've just got some fairly pastel-coloured things here. I've got light Highland Heather. I've got, which have I got there? Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lime Twist, I think, yes. And, oh, it's Light Night of Navy. That's quite light, actually. I thought I'd got Balmy Blue, but I couldn't. I was quickly looking for things and couldn't find them. I've also got Bubble Bath as well. So there we've got nice sort of pastel-y colours. Because books, of course, can be any colour. So you can just sort of colour whatever you want, really. So I'm just going to colour a couple of books so you can get the idea of what we're trying to do here. So I'm not going to worry too much about light and shade. You can, if you want, you can spend hours colouring. Be a Jay Serrano. If you want to know about colouring, he's your guy. But I'm just going to do double layer of my pen just to show roughly where that is. Let's have a green book next, shall we? And that one is Granny Apple Green. That was the dark. And we've got Lemon Lime Twist. Oop. That's the light one, so I can use the dark one for the rest of the label. So I'm just doing this really quickly to give you an idea. And of course we can carry on doing this and finish doing all the colouring, but you get the idea of this, yeah? I'll just do this pile and then we will know where we are. There we go. We'll go back to purple for the last two. Oh, I haven't done a blue one. Let's just quickly do a blue one. Quite dark. This I need Balmy Blue, really. I'll change to Balmy Blue for, I think, for other books there. But you can get the idea. So you want to colour all of the books on here and on here. I'd already done the ones on the envelope. Just have fun doing some colouring. I know why I chose Night of Navy, by the way, because that matches the colour on the DSP I've got. So finish colouring these. I'm not going to do it now because it's a bit boring. Yeah, Fresh Freesia. Is it? No, that's actually Light Highland Heather, those things. But anyway, Fresh Freesia is this beauty. So you think Fresh Freesia for the here? Yeah, I think you're probably right, actually. Don't know. But do I need it? Should I have stamped it in Highland Heather, or should we go with something a bit darker? Should I actually go for Night of Navy on that? There's a thought. Let me just turn that over because I can squish the edges down. There's never a problem with using the reverse side of something, of course. Let me just stamp it in Night of Navy and see what that looks like. Does that go better with the colours on the card? Let's see. And of course, because I've done it on the back of that, you now can't see the other side. But yeah, I think so. What do you think? Yeah. So hard to choose. I know you can get away with just about anything with a card, but I think I might go with that actually. Now I've had the idea, because it just pulls out the colours of the card, which I'm always into. Oh, covered in glue as usual. Right, let me show you how to put some of the rest together. I'll show you how I've done the book on this. This die, as you can see, it cuts out slits. So it means I can get a little length of twine here. Don't need nearly that much. There's some scissors. So I just need a tiny length of twine. That will do. And all I'm going to do is slide it behind the book here. Look, I've got ink on me as well. Messy crafter. So slide this bit behind here, and I'm just going to hold it down there with a little bit of tear and tape. Just put it across like that, that'll hold it. And then the other end of it, because I want it to look like it's coming out of the book. This is a little bit fiddly, but I worked out this is quite a nice way to do it, is I'm putting a little bit of tape around the twine and then sticking this tag to it like that. So that sticks my bookmark, my little taggy bookmark, onto the back of here. And then I can stick this onto the card. I'm going to use a dimensional. I'm actually going to use, this is I might as well use one of these. These are great big pads that I got from somewhere else, but why not use them all up? I found them in a drawer. I didn't think I'd got any. I thought, I might as well use those up. Bought them, so I might as well use them. So then I can stick my book on. I'll have it just here. Could have probably used Night of Navy. That would have given even more contrast, actually, but I haven't. I've put it out of this. But you can play around with the colours. That's the beauty of having DSP. So then we can just take off the backing of this, which is really fiddly now. Yeah, you think the Night of Navy for that sentiment. Good, so do I. I think we're going to go with that. Can't get the backing off now. Talk among yourselves while I just do this. Dear me. Stick down properly and then come off backing. Finally, there we go. So then I can have this sticking down as if it's just coming out of the book. I'll have it sticking down up there, actually, like that. So there is my decoration for the front of the card. That doesn't show up too much. Probably I should have done that in Night of Navy, actually. Had a Night of Navy book. I might swap it later. Anyway. So to finish off this panel, you don't actually need to stick it down there. It doesn't need it, but I think it is worth just putting a tiny little bit of glue across the bottom. So be careful not to put it too far up, but just a little blob. Come on, you're a new one. You should be coming out easily. There we go. Just literally across the bottom there. And then that will just stick it down enough there. And that is enough to hold, especially if we get that properly creased. There we go. Stick it down there. And that's enough to hold the bookmark when we've made it. So we're definitely going to go with that one, I think. Put that one away. So how to make the bookmark. Obviously finish colouring those. The other thing is I was going to just use stamp another pile. I forgot to do that, so let me just, that's a fairly clean bit of card, just a scrap. Stamp another pile of books because I'm just going to put it on there as an extra decoration for the front. So those I do need to just colour. And I'll finish colouring the other ones, obviously, when I'm putting the card together properly, but unless you're watching a master at work like Jay to colour, you don't really need to watch me colouring. So let's have the yellow one next. Long end. When it's fine colouring like this, I do like to use the pencil tip. In fact, I use that for most of my colouring. I'd use the brush tip for large areas, but Don't think you need it for most of the time. And let's have a pink one at the top. There we go. Now these, get my cutting scissors. I've had to move on to the snips because I don't know, I think some of you were here when I told you the sad story about my other scissors that broke, the handle broke, which is very sad. And they were my favourite scissors. Anyway, just going to very quickly fussy cut around here. And I've mentioned before, the easy way to fussy cut is don't worry about the little bits. So I'm not going to worry about the fact that the edges of the book stick out there. I'm just going to go round it and keep it just close by, but don't try and cut right on the line. It just doesn't come out well. Generally, it's always difficult. So there we go. And that I'm just going to pop on here. I'm going to stick it flat because I've already got quite a lot of depth in the card when we put the bookmark in as well. So it's not really worth putting any more depth on the front here. So we'll just have a few books in the pile there and stick this across here. And I agree, I think we're right to go with the Night of Navy. Okay, so pop that in here. Put it across there. Yeah, that was definitely a good choice. Thank you, Emma. Definitely good. There we go. So there we have the main card made. So to finish off the bookmark, obviously finish colouring the books, but I've used the scalloped tag punch, and I'm just going to slide this into here. So it is the right width. It's 5 centimetres. Did I say that the sizes of these? I'm not sure I did. Okay, I better give you the sizes for these. So the bookmark is, I think it's 5 by 15. I haven't written it down there. Oh, yes, I have. 5 by 15 centimetres. Again, inch measurements will be in the blog, which will be published soon after this video as I can get round to it. So that's just the right size for our scallop tag punches. If you don't have that, then you can simply just draw around something to make a shape around the end and cut a little hole in it. The little sneak preview, but come out today are some new online exclusives, and it includes a bundle that has these, what do they call them, hole punch assortments. I haven't opened them yet, but you've got an 1/8 of an inch hole, which is perfect for some of the small things we need. A hole that's like this one for a tag, and a straight hole for ribbons for tags. So really useful. So we have that. Have a look on the online exclusives. So I'm just going to round the corners of this, both sides. This is a retired punch, I'm afraid. You can't get this one anymore, but I do have a non-stamping up corner round, but I've lost that. So these pieces that you need for here, this first piece is 4.5, and it's again the same layers as on the main card. So this piece is 4.5 by 12.5 centimetres. And again, I'm going to round all of the corners. Slide it in properly. That's better. So that goes on there, and then the bit that you've stamped on, we're going to round the corners on that as well. I just think it looks nicer with rounder corners on it. Rather, you could leave them square if you wanted, but I'll just drop those all over the floor. Never mind, I'll pick them up later. So then we can put this together. And I realise I've forgotten to get my Fresh Freesia ribbon, which I do have some, which I might have to leap up and get in a minute. We'll finish colouring these, obviously, to finish it off, but just to show you how it all works together. There's a bit of ribbon on here I can use, actually, for now. So then you want some sort of coordinated ribbon. I just happen to have this. This is a piece left over from all the swaps I made. More on that next week if you watch my blog when I'm actually away. I'm going off to the Stamping Up conference, as I said, which is lovely in Strasbourg. And I'm leaving a post that'll come out, a blog post that'll come out while I'm away on how I made the swaps. I've been making 60 odd swaps, but that piece will do for now. So just put the ribbon through there to finish off the bookmark. Obviously finish colouring the books, and then the card goes together. This will just slide in behind there, and it doesn't fall out even though you haven't stuck this down. If you stick this down, this gets a little bit awkward to get in and out. So having played with it on the other card, I've decided that that is the best way to do it. Just stick it at the bottom and that's enough to have the bookmark in. So that is my bookmark card. Oh, I haven't stuck that in, but you can see how that will stick in there once I've coloured the books on that. Don't forget to decorate your envelope. So there, I've got 2 cards now for the bookworms in my book club. So I think I know what I'm going to give them as birthday cards this year. They are really easy to do. Both look lovely. Where are we? Oh, worked well. Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Thank you. Yes, so thank you for joining in. Thank you for your suggestions. I'm glad we changed that because it looks a lot better with the Night of Navy, definitely. I could colour in the stars. I've actually got a gold pen somewhere. I might actually colour them in gold. I just coloured these in lemon lime twist. I think, was it lemon lime twist I did, or light lemon lolly? I think it was lemon lolly actually. But anyway, there we go. So these are the cards. I hope you like it. I hope you have a go at it. I will be putting up the video and all the instructions in my blog very soon after we finish today. Are there any other questions before we go? Thank you, Emily. Lovely cards. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. I can see there's other people watching, even though you're not talking to me in the chats, but that's fine. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock again, where we will be making a card using the theme Blue and White Combo. The reason for that is it's Tech for Stampers blog hop time again. It's amazing how quickly that comes around, and that is the theme for this week. So join me then next week. Do sign up on my email for my all my news, and then you'll know when these sessions are, but also when my live craft-alongs are. Those are live on Zoom, so you need the Zoom link, which you get in the email. So please do sign up. We have a live craft-along on Thursday this week at 11 o'clock. So please join me then if you can, and we'll be making a rather fun pop-up card. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.